We have been on a 40 days challenge. So far, we have done 22 days of the challenge. Today was day 22, and we have been doing different things every single day. We started off at the beginning by various activities. We have worked on stuff that is good for our mind. We have looked at nutrition, how we are able to feed ourselves the right way, eliminating things like sugar from our diet, eliminating processed foods, ensuring that we are eating a balanced diet. We've looked at what is 5 a day. We have looked at the other side of relationships, because obviously for you to be able to prosper and be in good health, prosperity and wealth comes as a result of various things. You can prosper in your health, but if you're not prospering in your relationship, which will include things, your relationship with God, then you're not prospering at all. And so in these 40 days, we are challenging ourselves to detox and reset, so that as we're going into 2024, which promises to be an amazing year, where we will want to prosper and be in good health, even as our souls prosper, the most important thing for us to realize is that we need people. We will do life with people, and as a result, a consequence of doing life with people, sometimes we need people's skills, sometimes we need the currency called people. Relationships are important, and so why we have spent some time over the last couple of days trying to appreciate the people that we have the opportunity of doing life with, but also we told ourselves we're going to bless these people, we're going to send them appreciation messages, we will try to buy them something. And then today we are challenging ourselves, reminding ourselves that we are good soil, so that at the end of the day, if we invest in ourselves, we will be able to prosper, we'll be able to multiply, we'll be able to bring forth productivity, because we are good soil. If you're new here, or if this is the first time that you're joining us, or you've just clicked on this by mistake and you're wondering, who's this woman? Who's this lady talking to me about random things? My name is Claire. If this is the first time that we're meeting, or if this is the first time that you have the opportunity of catching up with this, which might be live right now, or in the days, years, months, and seasons to come, I have the privilege of being the founder of this channel. I am a registered nutritionist, a food scientist, a mother, a lover of Jesus, a wife, amongst many other different roles that I carry, or hats that I wear on a single day-to-day basis. I am so privileged to really have this opportunity, because I'm so passionate about having a healthy body. It gives me so much passion to come and share the information that I have gained. A lot of the things that I talk about here, of course, will be through my journey of studying, but also experience. And talking to you guys, if I talk about weight loss, I talk about weight loss from a perspective of somebody who used to be really overweight. When I had my baby, I've talked about this openly. In 2017, there was quite a tremendous change in my body, and I was really super big, but I have been able to apply the principles. I've been able to apply these, and of course, claiming the promises. If you're a Christian without knowing the principles and applying the principles, that alone will not work. So I've been able to apply the principles that I share on this channel, and they've actually resulted in significant changes in my health, in my prospering in my health. And this has been something that when I talk to you guys, I talk from experience. I talk from the place of understanding how our bodies are actually meant to be temples of the Holy Spirit. We don't have like a manual of how to look after our bodies, but of course you can figure out things through trial and error. You can figure out things through recommendations. So what you have like recommended guidelines, but sometimes somebody who's walked the journey has a better place to tell you about life in general. And that's what I do, because I've walked the journey. I know what it means to gain weight. I know what it means to struggle as a professional who's a nutritionist, having been able to have like put on quite a lot of weight and struggling through the journey of losing weight, and eventually cracking the code, so to say, and being able to share that code with you guys, which is what I'm doing which is something that I'm very passionate about, because obviously nobody will really care about anything that you care about unless or until they know you really care. And so I care about you. I care about healthy bodies. I care about you prospering in your health, because I know how much it is, and it means and is important for us, and the reason why I share what I share on this channel. If you haven't done so already, I would like to begin first of all by appreciating those of you who continue to support what we do by liking, subscribing, sharing the content of this channel. If you haven't done so already, or if you're watching this now or in the times to come, why not just click that like button? It will go a long way in supporting what you do. And of course, if you are able to, or you find this useful, please consider subscribing. That will also go a long way in helping us continue doing what we are doing. And now back onto the challenge. Today was day 22, and I was telling you guys, you are good soil. You need to do something that will be good for you, that will grow your skill set, that will help you maybe take yourself out and things like that. So for myself, what did I do? It's nice sometimes to give examples. I've spent some time today learning, like just going through developing my skill sets. I've spent some time going through some stuff that I've really wanted to learn. Sometimes I've really wanted to enhance my skills on. I've done some bits and pieces of reading a little bit about how to do content and things like YouTube, for example, and that has been really helpful. I spent quite a good amount of hour in the morning when I woke up. Of course, I had time for myself, but I also just spent some good time. Like I had this really long shower, and I just had this time to kind of like just relax, let go, and just remind myself as I'm starting the day, I'm stepping out victoriously. I'm stepping up in these days, showing up in the way that God has given me the grace to do. And I've been in my class today. I have given to others as well. So I had opportunity of planting and giving into other people, sowing into other people's children by just imparting the knowledge. And that has been really good as well, because for me, when I give, I feel good about it. In some ways, the which I give and give to myself, as well as when I've done some justice with some of the things that I do for my class, that really, really, really fills me up. I still have another hour this evening. I want to spend some time. I'm going to go for a challenge. I'm also on another challenge, just learning stuff to do with YouTube. So I'm going to spend an hour of my evening to learn a little bit more on content production. So it's not that I've arrived yet. I want to also understand how to make better quality videos, how to reach out to people better. And so this evening, I'm spending some time to invest, to read a little bit about production. Of course, I need to polish up my skills of how to produce videos, which is something that I know when I have time, I'll invest in that. But because I don't have time, I'm doing it as something that is like on the side, apart from my full-time job. So I might not be able to do it at the moment, but I keep on trying every single day to get better, to get better, and to get better, and hopefully become better at the skills and better to present the things that I do, so that at the end of the day, I'm serving you with quality, I'm serving you in a better way, so that you also get content that has been packaged in a quality way, and hopefully that will minister to you guys, right? And now let's go into day 23, which will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, we want to spend some time and just ensure that we are allocating a good chunk of our time in quietness. The hustles and bustles of life. Child is crying here, a module that I need to prepare for, I'm running late, I'm doing school run, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm always in a rush. And maybe that will be your life as well. That could be a story of your life. That you're constantly after one thing, after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. That you find life is busy, life is noisy, life, you don't have time just to be able to sit down and to say, I'm going to lazy around. Not inviting you to be lazy, but just to take time in quietness. I love one of the Psalms that says, I think it's Isaiah that talks about in quietness and rest shall be our salvation. We live in a fast-paced world, running after one trend to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, that it gets to a point that it's so difficult just to sit back and be quiet and be still. Psalm 46 talks about being still and know that God is God. You can never know some of these things in the stillness. Have you just allowed yourself to be quiet, to be still, that you can feel like a penny drop? And in those moments of being still, you're allowing your mind to, you can do meditation in the moments of stillness. You can read a book. You can do different things. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I just want to invite you into on day 23 is to take time and have a quiet time. It could be as simple as I said, just spending some time starting with some deep breath. Breathe in. Hold and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And after you do that, just spend some time in quietness. And just allow yourself to belong, and do nothing but just resting. Just being quiet. Just being still. And know, right? Just not allowing the hustles and bustles and everything around you. And just staying in silence. And just being able to listen to your intuition, to listen to your inner being, to listen to your inner man speaking to you. No, just constantly the hurries and bustles and everything around, but just being like, okay, it's my quiet time. So this might look a bit weird. Please don't skip this. If you're watching us right now in the times to come, let's practice this together. I will put some background music at this stage, which will allow us just to practice. I'm a great believer and a great love of practicing what I preach. And so there'll be some background music. You might want to do this by yourself at home. Depending on if you're a Christian, you may want to put some worship music in the background. And as the music is playing in the background, just allowing yourself to be. You want to close your eyes. My son is in the background. He has a cold. You might hear him pulling his nose, sneezing. Just say bless you as you move on. But you may want to close your eyes if you wanted to. Or you may want just to leave them open. You may want to meditate on some good thing. Think about a good thing that has happened to you. Maybe think about like a moment that gave you joy in that quietness, in that quiet moment. Or think about the goodness of God and think about how good it's been, really. And sometimes if you're having your quiet time or moments of stillness and quietness, your mind might start to wonder. It might start to think about the things that you're missing. It might tell you like, well, I told you my boy is having a cold, is in the background and it's a bit snotty, and you might start to think about, well, I need to go and attend to him and things like that. So it might be worthwhile if you're doing this to ensure that you remove all the distractions. You set aside a quiet time, again, a moment that is more no interruptions. You set apart a time that you know very well that you'll spend a good time. You might want to bring a good book. I'm a great believer this year. I'm reading like never before. I'm telling myself, Claire, you have to explore all those secrets that are hidden in books. So it's a year for me that I'm just going to feed my mind and ensure that I am knowledgeable. I know that I want to sharpen my skill set. I want to become better and better at the things that I do. So you might want to bring a book with you. You might want to bring your journal with you. As you're bringing your journal with you, just taking some moments to journal and just maybe reflect on different things. You might want to do gratitude journaling at that moment when you're alone in that quiet moment, just kind of in a way remembering how blessed you are, counting your blessings, naming them one by one, and just kind of reminding yourself of the things that are happening to you. And the things that are happening to you, as Abby usually says, they are happening for you and not against you, right? You might want to kind of do some art. If you are good at arts and craft, you might want to draw some pictures. You might want to draw something that comes to your mind, so that in the end you're not just sitting there and feeling that, oh, I'm bored. Why did I really not have this quiet time? So eventually you quickly come out of it and leave the space and go away, because you're allowing yourself to be interrupted. You're allowing that moment to something else to occupy it. But if you don't want that to happen, you need to make that moment to count. And you might want to prepare that room, prepare yourself, have your journal with you, have some background music, have some scriptures if you want to meditate on that. Or you might want to do some affirmations, affirm some things in your life, declare some things in that moment. You might want to read your Bible and just allow it to speak to yourself, so that at the end of the day, you have a revelation moment. You might want to do a vision board in that moment. You might want to do some planning for the year. It's the first quarter of the year. If you haven't done so already, we'll do a bit of that exercise as we go on through the challenge. So you might want to start doing it ahead of time. You may want to put some targets for yourself. What you want to do for 2022? What you want to achieve in 2022? What are the things that you're putting on your mind? You're setting yourself to do some goals that you want to achieve. It might be in your exercise goals, it might be relationship goals, it might be financial goals. You might do that in that moment when you're quiet with less distractions. The other thing, if you're doing this, is find a moment, as I said, where you're less likely to be disrupted. And that could be like if you've got kids, once the kids are in bed, or maybe choosing early in the morning when everybody's still asleep, so that you don't have those interferences from other people. So when you're doing that, if you find this helpful in any way, again, give us some feedback. Let us know how that's been impactful for you. But just take some time. Don't rush away from this. I'm going to leave it running for a little while, so that if you want to use this time that we are putting here, maybe another 2 to 3 minutes. So it might be a moment of silence, and I'm just allowing myself that quiet time, practicing it with you guys. So if you hear, again, as I said, my son in the background, but this will be just a moment where I leave it to run, and then I'll come back a bit later on towards the end to close it up. But for now, just enjoy that quiet time, enjoy that uninterrupted time. If you're at work, maybe you're listening this as background noise, it might just be that opportunity and invitation for quietness. So we'll leave this running for another 3 to 4 minutes ish, and that will be filled up with music. Then I will come back later and wrap it up for us. Hope you have a good evening, and I shall catch up with you again on day 24, which will be tomorrow. I'll come in to give the content for day 24. If you haven't done that already, as I said, consider subscribing or sharing or liking this content. It will go a long way in supporting what you do. I hope you enjoy your quiet time. Have a great evening and catch up with you soon. I pray that you prosper and be in good health, even as your souls prosper. Have a greatest of the great evening. I hope you know that you're loved, celebrated, and appreciated, and I shall see you again very soon. Goodbye and God bless. Bye-bye.